Hi, welcome back to Jocks, Geeks, and Nerds. We're your hosts. I'm Millie Jean Warren.
I'm Catherine Stroller.
We have a super exciting show for you today. We're going to be talking to a local comics creator who has a pretty exciting announcement. It's an announcement.
Don't give it away.
Segwaying. We're also going to talk to some dudes named Joe and Vic, and they are our friends from Toy Fusion and Luchador Coffee.
Also, our producer was able to go to San Diego Comic-Con, so we have some pretty awesome footage to show you from that.
So I'd like to introduce to you our guest, Chris Wisnia.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And you are a local comics creator of...
Comics.
Yeah!
We also understand that congratulations are in order. It sounds like the Criterion Collection is getting ready to come out with a box set of all the Godzilla films, and that you were involved with some of the art on that process. Congratulations.
Yeah,
by the way.
thank you. It was the 1000th DVD release of theirs, and so they're collecting the first 15 Godzilla films. And they chose 15 comics artists, and they asked me to be the 15th artist.
That's exciting.
That's incredible.
How did you get involved with that?
I got an email, and I saw it and I thought it was spam and almost deleted it. And it said, "I'm the art director for Criterion, and we are a company who publishes, important films." And
you can get $3 million if you send us $2,500.
Yeah, it was just a cold letter invitation, basically. And
Cool.
I wrote back and said, "Wow, how did you hear of me?" And I wasn't sure if maybe another artist had, mentioned me. I've been doing giant monster comics for a lot of years. And so I'm kind of in that genre. But he said, "Oh yeah, I don't know where I first found you, but I've got some of your books, and I thought you'd be perfect." So
That's
cool.
wonderful.
got in. Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's wonderful. What started your love of comics? Was there a gateway comic, or did you start out coming from more of just the art side, or how did you get involved with the
I
world?
enjoyed drawing as a kid. I had a little, pocket book of Steve Ditko, Stan Lee reprints of Spider-Man issues from the 60s, and that was kind of the first stuff I really remember that got me excited, and in elementary school I started, picking them off the shelves and stuff, and I got a degree in art at UC Davis, but this was at a time when comics weren't a legitimate art form. Right. So I was learning to be a proper artist. And when I got out of school, I started thinking about comics again.
That's wonderful.
And you're the author of a comic book.
I've been making comics. I write and draw, and I've been producing work since about 2004, so I've got a number of books out at this point.
Very nice. Do you have a favorite that you've worked on? I'm sure they're all favorites in their own way.
Yeah, whatever I'm working on now is the masterpiece.
Right. That's the focal point.
Yeah. But the Giant Monster comics, it's called Doris Dangerous Giant Monster Adventures, and I've been working on it for a long time. They're a parody of the pre-superhero Giant Monster comics that they're making in the late 50s, early 60s. And Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, who created most of the Marvel Universe, this is what they were doing before the superheroes. They would just put out whatever was popular and trying to sell books. So they would do romance or Western or war. And there's this weird horror subgenre of giant monster comics. And
kaiju.
I think it was more like the 50s drive-in, giant bug movies. And
Right.
I think that was
Okay.
more their influence. But they had the comics code where they weren't allowed to show blood or fangs or, all these very specific rules to keep our children
Right.
safe.
Yeah,
right.
So the monsters all had, trimmed, flattened nails and flat teeth, and they all wore underpants to protect their modesty. And I just thought,
It's the first thing that comes to their mind.
Yeah,
right?
it's horror, but not the kind of horror they
Right.
envisioned, I think. And Dick Ayers was the inker of these comics at the time, and later on he was inking Jack Kirby's Fantastic Fours and Thors and stuff. But I met him, and I had thought it'd be fun to get some pinups of some of my favorite artists, and I got his contact info, and before I wrote to him about commissioning him for some work, I just had this idea: oh, what if I make some of these old giant monster comics? I wonder if he'd ink them. And he agreed to do it. And so the first 25 pages of these stories I produced, I call authentic rip-offs, because they're inked by the guy that inked them back in the 50s and 60s. And so it just started as kind of a one-off joke, but it's become this project that I've done hundreds of pages at this point of this kooky storyline of giant monsters.
Wow, that's incredible, and full circle too, to work with the same guy.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah.
cool. And also, we understand that you have a YouTube channel, correct?
Yes.
And you've kind of got a documentary. You've been interviewing a lot of fellow artists about kind of what it's like to be an artist, a comic artist.
Struggling
Yes,
artist.
Yeah. I started, publishing in 2004, and I reached out to a lot of artists because I was a fan, to get them to draw, once this project started, pinups of giant monsters and stuff. And so I got to know a lot of artists, a lot of big name artists in the industry. And knowing them, after conventions, all these artists are in town, and so we wind up at the same restaurants or bars or whatever, and you just, it's a small social circle. And so I would spend a lot of time talking with artists about, struggles they've had, whether it's, people at my level that were just trying to get in, or as I, moved barely up the ladder, and started publishing my own, and then into, people working mainstream for Marvel or DC, but not owning anything that they publish, and seeing their stuff on a T-shirt and not even being sent the T-shirt and having to buy a T-shirt with their image, or, creating their own characters, but people are at comics shops and, there's Batman or this unknown character, so what are you going to pick, and so how do you get your name out? It's hard to make any money that way, or, just all these different struggles.
You had a pretty good, I thought it was a great interview
with,
I think, one of the artists with Watchmen.
Dave Gibbons was the artist of Watchmen.
And I think they were giving you some pretty awesome advice about valuing your work, and it takes a long time. You have to have that consistency and that determination. Like, how do you think that resonates with you? Like what he was telling you.
So many of these interviews are great advice depending on what direction you want to go, and his advice was in the context that people would find out he's an artist, his neighbors, and they'd say, oh, my kid's baseball team needs a logo, so why don't you just make one for us for free? And what he said in that interview was, you need to value your work, and if he's a plumber, you don't ask him to please come replumb your house for free, but it doesn't seem to go both ways when you're an artist. It's not always valued.
Because it's so easy. It's just a doodle.
Yeah, and I mean, as fellow creatives, I know we both can resonate with that. And I think we actually have a trailer of some of your work that you've been working on. So let's take a look at that.
Please.
Yeah.
What were you doing before you got into comics? Trying to stay out of jail, for one thing. Not being very successful at it. But just before I got into comics, I was an art director for an advertising agency, and I also played music maybe 3 to 5 nights a week. Those were my 2 careers at the time. And I took on a comic book a month, so I was doing 3 separate jobs.
I ended up being like a pet sitter for pets with special needs.
I actually worked in a comic book shop.
Working at the
comic shop.
I worked at a lot of comic book stores.
So I got a job at a bookstore.
The music manager at a Barnes & Noble.
So I went and worked for Borders for about 5 years.
And I took care of this cat for like 4 months.
Working at a recycling truck behind a grocery store.
I got a job with a security outfit. Worked for General Foods.
I was working on cars during the day at a Ford dealership.
For 10 years, I worked full-time supporting adults with developmental disabilities.
By day, I was credit manager and salesman at Sherwin-Williams Paint.
Took care of some guy's album collection, which was awesome, by the way.
Stuff envelopes, I would mow lawns, landscaping stuff. I wasn't a very good employee.
This is my third career. I was almost $50,000 in debt.
Why did you want such a heavy workload like that? Stuff.
It had nothing to do with the workload. I loved what I did.
I never could have held down any other kind of a job. I've heard a lot of cartoonists say that, I think we're unemployable.
That's cool.
That's absolutely wonderful. I have to say that I really appreciate what you're doing as I said, as fellow creatives. Just a lot of people don't see the behind the scenes and they don't always see the struggles from people that aren't the big names. Right. And it's really refreshing to be able to see that people are able to tell their stories and that you're kind of on the front lines of that with this specific part of the industry.
That's the reason I decided I wanted to do this, is because I felt like, I had a friend who was at a convention, and at the end of the show he said, I sold one book that whole convention. And then on his blog that evening he said, had a great time at the convention. And I just felt like it's a subject that's not really spoken of, and it takes bravery to admit, and so I've been so pleased with things that people have been willing to share.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the hardest things. I feel like whether you're, an illustrator or an actor or a musician, no matter what your art is, I think it's kind of difficult because I don't know if people acknowledge you unless you've made it. It's always like, oh, what have you been in? Like, what do I know you from? And it kind of feels like people see you as, well, you're an aspiring musician or you're an aspiring artist. And it's kind of like, well, no, I am an artist. And, like one of those creators said, for like 10 years he was doing something, before I guess
you're just an amateur unless you've quote unquote made it. And then what? Then how do you define made it? Because that would be different things for different people, right?
Yeah, so. that was Steve Niles. He's the creator of 30 Days of Night that was made into a film, and it was a huge comic book success. But he'd been in the industry for over 10 years before he became that overnight sensation.
The overnight, yes. Key
but it's
key
the
word
years
of the
work.
lie.
Yes. Yes.
Well, fantastic. I'm really glad that we were able to share that and keep up the good work.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited that you're doing it. I think do we have a game for
We do have a game. So we heard that you like music, and that's really cool because we like music too. We have a lot of common.
Do you like music?
And our producer Bex actually has a really fun game that we like to call Name That Tune. So we're gonna sing a little song for you, and you get to guess Name That Tune.
You guys have to guess the franchise. You ready?
Oh, okay. So here we go. She's gonna sing.
Do 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 do.
What do you think it is, Chris?
Sounds like an Imperial Darth Vader song. I can't remember the exact title. It's the bad guy's Star Wars song.
Yes, Imperial March.
I was about to say, Bex, will you accept that?
Voice of Bex.
I guess so. We'll give him like a half point.
She sounds like the Wiz.
Yeah,
they're doing the.
Can you hear the voice?
I'm gonna assume you accepted that.
So yes. Yay!
Right.
Ding ding ding! Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Next.
Do 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 do.
I don't know this one. Do you guys know it?
I don't.
Can we have a repeat, please?
Another verse.
What do you think?
Can we have a repeat, please?
It's Breakfast Club. I can't hear you guys.
Can you repeat the chorus?
I can't. I only do it one time.
Oh.
One time.
One time only.
All right.
Okay,
so that
That was
was
the end of Breakfast
I
Club?
think that Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club?
Simple
It's final
minds.
answer, Breakfast Club?
Yes. Okay. So no.
Okay,
on that
moving
one.
on.
All right. Next.
I know this one.
I like the
Sounds
falsetto.
familiar.
It sounds very familiar.
This has turned into a group effort here.
I'm trying to be spooky.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
Close.
Michael Myers.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yes. Ding, ding,
Oh,
ding, ding, ding.
There you go. Okay. Team effort. Team
I
effort.
still don't
You know what?
recognize it.
This
Yay.
game's over.
All right.
I'm done.
Is that
done
we're-
with
okay?
you guys.
She's done.
Are we done? All right.
Did I win?
Yes, you
I
totally
got
won.
kind of won.
You won self-satisfaction.
Yes.
Yay.
Well, we're running out of time, sadly. I wish we could talk to you all night, but we just wanted to check, where can people find you? Your YouTube channel, or where else are you on social
my
media?
YouTube channel is Diary of a Struggling Comics Artist, and all my social media is Chris Wisnia Arts.
And is that where people can purchase your comics as well?
Yes, my website is chriswisniaarts.com.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you so much for having me. This was fun.
Yay. Thank you.
All right, and next up, I believe we have some footage from San Diego Comic-Con that our producer Bex was able to go snatch, and let's see what we've got.
Hi, welcome to Jocks, Geeks, and Nerds. I'm your host, Fire Crotch, and we have Silent K, and we are back. And we are talking to our guests today. We have Joe with our buddy Toy Fusion, and we have Vic with Luchador Coffee.
What's going on?
Hi, Joe. Okay, hi, Vic. No, I'm totally kidding. So you guys, right, remember on our very first episode of JGN, we had a guest named Andrew Learn, and he's the owner of Toy Fusion. He has a little bit of camera fright, so we have his buddy Joe.
That's
hey,
right.
Joe.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. Very excited to be here at Jocks, Geeks, and Nerds. It's the main spot to be on a Wednesday night, and we have a lot we want to talk about. Toy Fusion is somewhat of an enigma. You know, we started 20 years ago here in Sacramento. The people that we have coming through the shop, you would think it would be the types that you would expect, but you know, like this past weekend we had Mike Brown from Blue Man Group come in, and I mean, he wanted a private showing. He was there for 2 hours. Wow. He got all these cool things, and he's been to every toy shop in the world, and so him to be there and to actually go down this nostalgia trip and get to soak in everything. That's what we see on a day-to-day basis. And it transcends all demographics, all age groups. We get kids as young as 5 bringing their parents in, and it's just a reminder that nostalgia is timeless, priceless, and there's no way you can replace something like that. So we're very proud to be able to have that shop. It's open Wednesday through Saturday. Holiday season, we're going to actually be open 6 days a week. So we want to make sure that anyone that comes through, they can get the toys they want when it's convenient for them.
You guys are by Arden Mall-ish, right?
Yes,
Arden
we're
and Howe?
Arden and Howe, 2230 Arden, and that's Suite A.
Okay,
It's,
good.
it's
Okay.
hot. It's hot in there.
I
That
was
was
going to say it. I was
good.
going to say it. Yeah.
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 So.
Yeah, Silent K. So I would say, you know, with that said, Toy Fusion in 2020, that's going to be our 20th year anniversary. We're actually going into manufacturing. We're going to start manufacturing our own toys. So we have some deals with some wrestlers, unfortunately not Fire Crunch and Silent K, but we'll work out those deals later.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah. I know you guys high guarantee, but you know, with that said, we have some really exciting things in the pipeline for manufacturing, and we're going to start doing some bigger things. We actually have a deal with one of the largest hotel chains in Sacramento, actually in the world, but in Sacramento, they actually want to have us have a presence in at least 1, 2, 3 of their hotel locations here in the greater Northern California.
That's fantastic.
How cool is
Just
that?
Congratulations on the 20 years and all of the new wonderful things to come.
Insane to think. I mean, seeing Toys R Us go down, and I mean, yes, they're coming back, but you know, even they had to restructure their model of how to get people to come in and be part of that toy culture. It's all about consumership. This is about actually making a relationship with the people that come into your stores, and that's what Toy Fusion does far beyond any of our big box competitors.
Right. Well, I think one of the things is, you know, not to compare you with Toys R Us, but I feel like the difference is, I mean, yeah, Toys R Us, I feel like is nostalgic in a way of like, oh, I went there when I was young. But like, I mean, y'all have like Batman, like you have the toys that we grew up with.
Correct.
That's the nostalgia, at least for me.
Well, and there's also a sense of community because it's just the one store, and you know, it's creating those relationships. Yeah, and seeing kids grow and just, you know, all of that. And
yeah, Andrew says it's like Cheers for Geeks. I mean, they come in, and he even has names for all these people from the Cheers cast, and we're all kind of come in, and we discuss ideas, and celebrities come through, and like I said, the kids, it's the most exciting thing because we'll see the parents come through, but then the kids still have that same knowledge the parents have and more for that next generation. So just pretty awesome to see that effect day to day. And so sometimes it's therapeutic, it's emotional because you see so much coming through there. We had a young man with cerebral palsy, and he came in, and I mean, this guy, top-end toy collector, he just loved everything about it, but he doesn't have a lot of friends, and for there to come into a conversation and make a bunch of friends and feel, I mean, just on top of the world. He was elated. We were elated to meet him, and once again, the networking just grows and grows and grows every time you go in there.
It's absolutely
Can you
wonderful.
say anything about the toys you guys are manufacturing?
Oh yes, we can.
Can we
So,
spoil us?
Just a little spoilers.
it's not Sting, but I will say it's within the market of pro wrestling. We do have a lot of connections with pro wrestlers, you two as well. And but yes, we're working with some independent pro wrestlers that have national TV exposure. So some bigger names, but those deals are signed, and we're in pre-production for all those figures. But once again, we want to do everything from Netflix shows to cartoons and maybe even comic books. So. Isn't that right, Sting?
And I think, do we have some footage from Toy Fusion? I think we may.
Sure do. Our toy show. Yeah, we have a montage.
So let's take a look at that.
Sure.
That was Sean.
That's Sean. Sean's the man.
We
Sean's
know
the man.
Sean.
He'll be there, I think, this weekend. So.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I know he moved, so.
He did, but he's coming up here all the time.
Good.
And we love that guy.
Good. Breaking the fourth wall. Hi, Sean. Now, we're meeting a new friend today. Vic.
What's going on?
Hey. Hey, we have.
Welcome.
We have masks.
Thank you. Yes.
And we have product from Luchador Coffee.
Correct. That's correct. That's our Thrill to Kill medium roast right there. And then we have our Café de Olla. It's a special Mexican coffee right there as well.
That's awesome. Is this your business?
It is, yes. I started it about 8 months ago.
Congratulations.
That's
wonderful.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Where are you located?
We're located at 2380 Y Avenue. We're inside Country Club Plaza. And we're actually Joe and Andrew, so we're launching. A lot of people have asked us to, come to different locations, Oak Grove, different parts of SAC. So with that, we're launching we're calling it Luchador Mobile. It's a mobile coffee unit. And Joe and Andrew have given us the opportunity to officially launch that at Toy Fusion this Sunday.
How cool is that?
Yes.
That's
I actually met Joe and Andrew through Luchador Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
all
nice.
happenstance.
Yeah.
So
that's how it works.
I know you all are still new, but if someone were to come into Luchador Coffee and they were like, I don't know what I want, what do you recommend? What do you recommend?
That is a great question. So we have like a ton of different specialty drinks. We make all our own syrups, all our own chocolate mixes, everything from scratch. But probably our most popular one, it's called the Huracarana. It's actually a wrestling move. So yeah, all our different drinks are named after different wrestlers, wrestling moves. And that one has like Mexican chocolate or chata milk, espresso. So it's a really, really good drink.
How cool.
Very nice.
Now, is it just coffee or?
Majority coffee. We're going to start adding teas and actually boba as well pretty soon.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
Nice.
Just to expand the,
expand,
the clientele.
get different people that like
Right.
different things to come through and try us out.
Right. Now, is it like themed? Everything in there, like?
100%.
Yeah.
You go for the experience too,
Oh,
yeah.
right? It's not just the,
I mean, Joe, how did you hear about it?
I mean, I heard about it through Andrew, and I said, "There's no way something like that exists. It just shouldn't exist." And I go there, and not only does it exist, but it proudly exists. It sits in this
Yes.
segment of the mall, which the Country Club Plaza Mall is a relic in itself. But
It is,
he
yeah.
literally brings it to life in this small little section there. And you get customers that are just regular people, pro wrestling fans from all around the world coming there. It's a monument, and it sits right there in Sacramento. So Vic really should get a ton of credit for doing something so brash and upfront, but it comes from the heart, and you can feel it when you go there.
Oh, and it has to, right?
Yeah.
And it means that the two of you working together and just kind of having the passions from both sides and working together to help kind of keep each other afloat and all the support. It's
Well, and it's cool to see more small businesses coming up too.
Exactly.
Like not just like Starbucks or a Temple, but it's like no, like something like this, and it's unique and it's different
and again,
wanna make
community,
coffee fun.
community, right?
Yeah, 100%.
right. So we were talking about potentially learning a move. Would you be willing to teach me something?
She's really.
I think Joe should show you
I want a
guys.
suplex.
Well, here's Sting, and I'll show you. So okay,
get
put
your
the
mask on. Okay.
And the release form,
good.
we got that. Okay,
You're
We
good.
signed the liability.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
So Sting, what you can do is just kind of like you're about to spoon him or cuddle him for the night.
Hi, Sting.
Do that, sensitive, and then just pretend you guys got in a fight, and it's just like this guy's got to go somewhere. Just toss,
Okay.
And this is
Here we go.
a belly to back suplex.
Okay,
So,
you grounded?
so
You're
grab
grounded.
him, and on
Okay.
3, 1, 2, 3, and then.
Well, that worked.
Did I do it?
That was it.
He's
Yes,
okay.
that
He's
was
okay.
That was my special move, the itchy crotch.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was it.
Feel the burn.
Feel the
There you
burn.
go. There you
Feel
go.
the burn. Yeah, it went. Yeah, you
that
did
worked
it.
well. Yeah.
I'm really strong.
I can tell.
It's the thrill
It's-
of the kill.
Oh man, the coffee got to you, huh?
Wow, yeah. Wow, okay. We'll check in with him.
It's because I drunk my coffee and it gave me the energy that I needed to beat up my enemies. Luchador Coffee.
Should be your new tagline.
We gotta use that.
Down
We
there.
gotta use
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, make
Got
sure
a
you
new
sign on that.
spokesperson.
Off on
There's a
that.
new drink, the Fire Crotch.
Fire crotch.
Yeah.
It's got some cayenne in there,
Oh,
probably.
a lot.
Yeah,
A little Tahitian chili.
Yeah, that'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, I think we have a game for the two
Yes.
of you as well, or maybe just
Okay.
one. I'm honestly, I'm not sure, but
Okay, I don't know.
we have this lovely wheel. So we're going to be asking some Star Wars questions because we understand that Star Wars knowledge for you may not be a special point of interest.
Did you hear the voice of our goddess, Bex?
No,
I wasn't talking.
we're going to be spinning it. We'll have you spin it in a second.
Okay.
So the idea for
Spin
this
the
is
wheel,
that
please.
we're not expecting one to get the right answer.
Sure.
It's just, what do you think it might? What could it be?
Yeah,
what
I'm
could
open
it be?
to that.
The open to that.
To preface that, I've never seen Star Wars ever.
Okay.
And I think
Me either.
No, this
he
is okay.
hasn't.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so-
Star Wars virgins. This is extra.
Yes.
This is extra.
Great.
Just amazing.
All
Fantastic.
right, okay.
Well, if you would like to take turns then.
We have options
yeah.
to pick
Okay.
from here, so
Yeah,
I guess I'll just do this.
Yeah.
And,
You're so ginger.
well, I'm trying to get the right one.
And
Oh,
it's
wow.
on Star Wars.
Oh.
Star Wars trivia. Here we go.
I have a
This is for
question.
you,
Yeah.
Vic, and
What's
Joe.
The relationship between Anakin and the girl.
You know,
I think we all know that.
yeah. You know, it's I mean, probably
special.
brother and sister. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
And bonus question, what is their special relationship between them?
They've both been with Jar Jar Binks.
Exactly.
Yes. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Geez, I guess I know them.
Jar Jar
Thank
gets
you.
nothing.
We don't talk
okay.
about Jar Jar.
Oh no! Someone came in our store for Jar Jar. So,
Really?
Yeah, they bought a few Jar Jar.
I'm
figures, so
surprised.
That's
He needs love too. Yeah.
okay. I mean, yeah, I guess he needs.
I mean,
some
I guess
love.
they're kids.
It was
He was
a
named
40-year-old.
He was named by a kid.
He's someone's
Oh,
kid.
okay.
He's someone's
For,
kid.
well,
someone's
yes.
kid.
Or for. I mean, who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Big
Always
people-
Jar. Answer's
yeah.
always Jar Jar. Apparently.
Should I say
Yeah. I mean, we
please,
can move
please.
the spinner between you if you'd like.
let's
Makes it a
see.
little easier.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
ready, set,
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Damn.
It's a strong spin. You know, the price is right or something. Ooh, wow.
Saw that Luchador Coffee.
I know. All right, let's see what we got here.
Oh, we got nothing.
Oh, and Star Wars. What do you know?
Oh. All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What is the color of Mace Windu's lightsaber?
I don't know.
Well, can we give them like 3 options?
Okay. Yeah, you give them the options.
Is it A, purple, B, green, or C, blue?
I guess we'll go with A.
Hey, you got it right. Purple.
Oh.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Do you want to try for one more round, or I don't know if we have
Round
enough
3,
time.
Joe, you ready?
Round 3.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Here we go.
Let's do one more, and the two of you can confer to get. So go ahead. Oh, you got
Who shot first?
or not?
Boba Fett or the other man with brunette hair?
Oh,
It has to be Boba Fett.
really?
Yeah.
Really?
What's his name? Skywalker? No.
Han Solo. Oh, okay.
I really wasn't Boba. I'm kind of. I know
It's okay.
Do.
Yeah. No. Who shot first, Greedo or Han Solo?
Oh, Greedo. Oh, Boba.
Greedo. Yeah. Right?
That is a question lost to the ages.
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is open to interpretation.
Wow.
But congratulations!
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
and thank you
Appreciate
for playing. And thank
Yes.
you both for being here. And we are unfortunately, on that note, out of time for tonight. So,
Thank you again for watching us.
Well,
and
remember, where can people find us?
Yes, we can be found on Facebook at Jocks, Geeks, and Nerds, or you can follow us on Instagram. We are at Jocks, Geeks, Nerds.
And we're also on YouTube. So check us out. And also,
Don't just watch, play with us too.